Hello everyone, it's Jay, and today I have this cool spooky background, and what I want to do in this video is carve myself a pumpkin because it's the 29th of October, so it's nearly Halloween, and I haven't carved a single pumpkin yet. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I have this Hokkaido pumpkin, which are usually not, well, these are not the decorative pumpkins, uh, but I had an extra one. I have carved Hokkaido pumpkins before, and it's fine. It's not that hard to do. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today, and probably will chat for a little bit. I have a mug of the day that is a repeat, and it's quite a large mug with a rainbow on it, and I love it. But really, the star of the show today is this like glass jar that I got yesterday, and it looks just like this. So it's a little pumpkin, and I thought it was perfect for this video since I'm carving a pumpkin. So I'm gonna get my stuff ready. I got some sums in here already. I have a little tray as well as this big bowl for the insides of the pumpkin, and I got myself a small knife, I got a spoon, and I got the specific pumpkin carving knife. And I don't really have an idea of a design much yet, but that's fine. I'm just gonna get along with it, and we shall see what happens. Isn't it kind of crazy that it's already like the spooky season is almost over, but also like it's never really over for me with the spooky season. So I decided to just make myself the whole November month like Halloweeny. I don't have to be at school this week, so that's nice. I got a bit more time. Well, realistically, I should be studying. I have so much stuff to be studying for. I have some projects that I'm already late with, but oh well, that's what happens. When I hear a fun fact, like I am actually slightly allergic to like the pumpkin juice, and I have this with like a lot of fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, where it's like I can eat it, it's fine, but it's just my skin is like very sensitive. We shall hope for the best. It's usually fine when I wash my hands quite often enough. In the early autumn, I was very like dissociated, I feel, and I don't know, I didn't really get to enjoy the early autumn much, but now I still want to enjoy it. I mean, does it really matter if it's like if October 31st like pass for me? Like it doesn't really matter, the date actually doesn't really have to have that much of a meaning. Yesterday with Max we only just watched Hocus Pocus, and we haven't watched any other Halloween movies this year. That's what we are going to be doing now. I just came back from Paris yesterday. We went with Max, just the two of us, and well, it was absolutely lovely, and it was a dream come true. Of course, there is going to be vlog coming from Paris, but it's gonna probably take me a bit to edit because there's a lot of footage. France and Paris specifically were kind of it was kind of my dreamy place to visit, to be honest. I am learning French, so this was the first time I got to use my French. It was very lovely. I could actually understand and speak the basics that I needed to, but then on the other hand, it was really not that my French is that good and advanced, not at all, but it's just you don't really need to use that many phrases when you go to touristy destinations and so on. But from what I heard, is especially in Paris, people are like not very nice apparently, and they hate when you speak English, but they also judge you when your French is not very good, which seems a bit stupid. But I did not have the experience. I was trying to communicate in French, and I don't know, people are smiling at me. I had very positive experience, but then on the other hand, as I'm saying, we were visiting the basic touristy destinations of Paris, so I think they're very used to tourists, and I think they kind of have to be nice as well. But still, it seemed like when I was using my French that they seem very happy about that. Or I don't know, maybe that's just the vibe I got. And honestly, after you study a language and want to visit a country for a while, it is so freaking magical to finally be there and like breathe the same fucking air. And basically, it was just a blessing, and I absolutely loved being surrounded by the language. And I already have very bilingual brain, right? Because I speak Czech and English, so most of the time I already speak Chenglish. My thoughts are in Czech and in English and very mixed. And yeah, sometimes I think of French words or phrases, but French started becoming like a regular part of my thinking, which was so interesting because realistically we spent 2 days in France and 2 days on our journey, right? We went by bus, but still the 2 days realistically being in France and being surrounded by the culture and the smells and the language, and French already got so deeply in my mind just by that. And also, like, everything is written in French. The first time I was speaking French to a French person, I was buying orange juice. So I just used a couple of words and phrases, and I was really anxious about it. And yeah, generally I am bit anxious with talking to people and being in public and so on. But I also had the extra nerves of like, what if my French actually sounds like shit and no one is even going to understand me? But they did, and that gave me so much like, not like maybe confidence, I don't know, but it gave me such a drive to like keep speaking French. And I really want to go back to Paris again and Versailles, and I want to visit like 15 other places in France now, right? And honestly, I was so sad that we are leaving. Like, I'm usually sad when we're leaving somewhere, but I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, excited to be home and comfortable and so on. But I was also like mourning it, like leaving, and I was like, I need extra week. I need one more week to be here, and I just wanted to walk through all the fucking little streets of Paris and just yeah, I wish I had more time there. I am back with a pencil, so now I'm gonna draw the little design. It's gonna be probably very simple, but I just really want to carve a pumpkin today, okay? Next weekend I'm probably going to be visiting my parents, so that means I'm gonna be seeing Azzy, and I really want to carve a pumpkin together. And then, like, mid November, we're probably going to do a little Halloween slash spooky slash like autumnal party. When I say party and then we make parties at this place, it's 5 people sitting around and chatting and listening to music and debating everything and anything. That's the kind of party I love. And actually, I've been to like a party, like a dancey party, because here we have like the tradition that when you in your final high school year, you have a prom, of course. We have that next month, and you also have this one more like event before that, and that's just for the students and the teachers. And it was super fun, honestly, despite all the dramas that we usually like joke about at school, and all that shit has been happening. I love that everyone was able to calm their fucking tits and be nice, and it turned out to be really enjoyable. I was fucking dancing in a club till 2 in the morning, and that's not what I usually do, but I really, really enjoyed that. So if our prom is gonna go just as smooth, I'm gonna be very happy. I'm gonna be very happy, and I'm actually going to enjoy that, which could be nice. I'm just going for a very simple design. You'll see later on. I'm starting to carve the first eye. The really nice autumn TM like arrived here only like a little bit ago. That's also why I feel like celebrating the spooky season and everything in November and throughout the month feels appropriate, because I've only got into the autumnal vibes, and yeah, I feel like the weather's only now just perfect. You heard me talk about Star Wars a lot, and I was like, yeah, I used to love Marvel movies, but I haven't really been into them for a while. Well, yeah, now I'm into Marvel movies again. It's interesting because I always have these like obsessions, and then the thing brings me so much dopamine. But back in the day, I used to have like an obsession that would last fucking years. And it's not like I don't have obsessions or hobbies that take years, but there's like breaks between them, right? And before that, I would just have some like interests that would last forever and would be that higher level up the hobby or the interest for so long. I have carved the eyes. But now, these days, I feel like I have very, very strong interests, but they don't last that long. So with Star Wars, I was obsessed for like a month, and then I was like, meh, okay, I still like it, but it's like, nothing extra. And then like 2 months later, I got another month of being obsessed with Star Wars. And now this sort of like just Star Wars went into the background, and now I started loving Marvel movies. But Marvel movies, I haven't really enjoyed Marvel movies as much for years now. And I'm not even updated with the movies anymore, not at all. The shows, I'm not even mentioning the shows. I haven't watched like 15 movies at this point, you know? And suddenly, I was just like, yeah, Marvel movies, you know? I usually watch movies with Max, but then there comes a time when we don't have that much time to spend together on like watching movies. And I don't know, I felt like watching some horror movies. So I started watching some movies by myself. But then I was like thinking, what kind of movies could I be watching by myself if I wanna watch most horror movies with Max anyway? Because it's like a common interest, common hobby. We love horror movies. I remembered the movie Blade. If you don't know, that's like originally Marvel movie. Blade is like this half human, half vampire dude who's like super strong, and he's hunting down some vampires. And I was like, that's like in a bit of style of a like horror movie, even though it's not like really a horror movie, you know what I mean? But I wanted to watch a lot of vampire shit as well, and I don't really have that many vampire movies that I watched actually, because I love vampires in the lore so much that I have high expectations of vampires in movies and shows and books, that I'm usually disappointed, that they usually meet the criteria that I love in a vampire, or there's something I just don't like about the vampire in that. And I remembered Blade because my dad loves that movie, or like loved, I don't know if he still likes that movie, but I remember watching it with him when I was little, and I was like, yeah, that fits all the criteria I need. It's a movie I can watch by myself. It's a vampire movie. Yeah, that kind of started the line of like, okay, let's look at this whole MCU freaking timeline, right? We started rewatching Marvel movies with Max, and we got like first Iron Man, first Thor, and so on and so on. Now by myself, I have watched the first Avengers. I watched the second Captain America. It's a really good movie. I watched Iron Man, and I realized I absolutely love Iron Man. He was always kind of my favorite there, but I always loved the first movie mostly. And I loved the first Iron Man so much. And we have rewatched it like last year with Max. But I was like, I don't really remember the next two movies. I roughly remembered what the second one was about, but the third one not at all. I just didn't really remember them. And I rewatched Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, and I am obsessed. And I don't know, I guess it's also because I'm older, and the topics regarding Iron Man are like heavy. They're heavy, especially like the third movie, right? When he starts getting anxiety attacks, and like I was not really into that when the movie was new. I was like, well, that's every day. Like, why do I need to see it in like fucking Marvel movie, you know? And now I'm appreciating it so much, and I can't believe that I was always fucking rewatching the first movie when that's actually just like the introduction movie. Like, it's good, of course. It's iconic. Yes, comfort movie, absolutely. How did I not care about the 2 second movies that much before? And now I just love them. I love them a lot. And now I am headed to watching the first Guardians of Galaxy. I really want to see the Hulk movie and Incredible Hulk, but like, where can I watch that? And it's always like, yeah, you can watch this on Netflix. Sorry, not in your country, bro. Like, and I'm like, well, great, thanks. And I also wanna watch Blade Trinity. And then I also remember one movie that we also watched with Dad when I was younger, and it was called Daredevil. And I loved this dude, bro. Like, I loved him. I don't know, I just thought, like, that's a blind superhero. That's the coolest shit ever. There's nothing cooler than that, okay? There's gonna be a new Blade movie in the MCU, and I'm excited about that, especially now when I just remembered, like, I actually love Marvel a lot. I just sort of forgotten about it, to be honest. And I already found like 2 little Lego sets from Marvel that I wanna get now. Like, help me, please. And this is my tiny jack-o'-lantern. It's just a simple, silly, spooky face. I don't know how well you can see it. I'm gonna try to turn this light off. Maybe you can see it a bit better now. What do you think? Do we like? And yeah, I'm no longer gonna film because I'm already filming for 40 minutes. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And till the next time, bye.